Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Fernando. I am a licensed professional civil engineer in the state of Texas and a career coach. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a video about how to get involved in college. When I was involved in college a few years ago, I was involved in a lot of organizations to the point where sometimes I felt I did not have enough time to even study. And I think that's kind of the intent of this video, is to encourage you all to get involved in college, to really join different networks, different organizations, but to realize that you shouldn't join them all, right? There's things that I would probably do different. I don't regret anything, but I think at the end of the day, I could have probably been a little bit more disciplined on not getting so involved. So what are the three categories that kind of fall into organizations, at least in my eyes? I think when you want to get involved in college, you have to be able to do an audit and be able to understand where you want to go and what skills you don't already have. If you're a freshman, this video might hit you differently because you're just getting started in college. If you're a senior, you're on the way out and you're like, well, I really can't get involved. And especially right now with the whole COVID situation and things being online, I think it's going to be even more different to understand really how to get involved. But I think with anything, during these times, it's even more important to be focused on our community. It's to be focused more on networking and to be able to develop friendships, even if they are virtual. Three categories that come to mind are educational, social, and spiritual. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into what categories those are and what they can really mean, but I want you guys to be thinking about that, right? What organizations can you join that are going to be focused on a technical standpoint? What organizations are going to be able to bring you friendships, a social setting? And then again, from a spiritual standpoint, it's not just about religion, but it's about psychology, it's about spirituality, it's about understanding your culture, right? And so from that perspective, I want to make sure you guys think about what organizations you are intending to join and what each one of them can bring to you. So why are educational organizations important? Well, they help you from a technical standpoint. They help you from a very specific niche down career development, and they also provide mentorship. So one organization that I joined when I was in college that was focused on technical development was AACE, the American Society of Civil Engineers. That organization brought me value in being able to bring me mentors and speakers to the organization, to the different meetings, so that I can learn from them. You know, what were the things that they were doing in their career plan? What were the things that the companies were doing? And so it gave me context and perspective on the things that the companies were doing for me to be able to look into in the future. And so that's important because if you're a freshman again, if you're a sophomore or junior, you still have not picked a discipline into going into, specifically for me, civil engineering, right? There's so many different categories that you can go into: geotechnical, water resources, construction, etc. And so going to these meetings, it gave me perspective on, hey, this person works in construction. This is the type of work that they do. Am I interested in that? And if I'm not interested in it, then maybe I'll look into structural, maybe I'll look into water resources. But again, being part of AACE gave me that mentorship in addition to not just the exposure to the corporate and to the industry, but it gave me exposure to juniors and seniors that were taking classwork that I was going to eventually take. And so being able to make those friendships gave me perspective on, hey, you should take this professor, this test is really important, don't study this, study that. And so again, having that mentorship from more senior students is a great asset to have in your degree plan. Just being able to have access to them is really important. From a social perspective, it's important to also have fun in college. I think, we're students number one. We're focused on getting a degree. But at the end of the day, the friendships that you make is going to be the memories that you have in college. And so it's really important to maybe do, an evaluation of the organizations that are involved or that are available to you in college in your different universities, because having that social component is very important. And so for me, those things were intramurals, maybe like a hobby, right? I did paintball, I did airsoft, fishing, jiu-jitsu, chess. Those are different organizations that I would go into here and there. I wasn't involved in all of them at the same time, but at one point or another in my university, studies and my curriculum, I was involved in those organizations. It's really cool to be able to join organizations that have those opportunities for you to take advantage of. And so intramurals was really cool too, because the different organizations had groups in volleyball, soccer, indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, kickball, flag football. And so those are the different intramurals, different sports that I took advantage of in the organizations that I was a part of. And so again, it's important there because you're getting some physical activity, you're making friends, and then you're getting an opportunity to just interact with some people, right? And so being outdoors and doing a hobby that you're passionate about helps you build that friendship. Because if you're just focused on technical school and technical development, something's missing, and having that social component is very important. And so I would encourage you all to look into maybe joining a social organization as well. And then there's spiritual, faith-based, psychology, and cultural. Those are the way that I classify that tier, if you will, of organizations. Again, other organizations that I joined, were part of me going to a Bible study. Were part of me being part of a Mexican American organization, and it was part of psychology. And so, those organizations gave me so much perspective. I was able to have very candid, deep, discussions with the friends that I made there. I was more focused on, why I think the way I think, why I do the things I do, why I want the things I want. And having those relationships with people, gave me perspective on why people think the way they think. And it also gave me perspective on the idea of, am I thinking about this the wrong way? Am I not understanding something that should be understood this particular way? And being part of those organizations gave me so much context, because I was able to understand whether or not I was growing as a person. And so I encourage you and I challenge you to join a spiritual organization that's going to challenge the way you think. You don't want to just be part of organizations that are very focused on your degree plan, or just very focused on like having fun and having social events, and they don't really push you and keep you accountable to really think bigger, to be able to think of challenging your thought process. Because some organizations, as much as you want to be able to build those like super strong friendships with people, they're just not the right setting. And being part of those other organizations are really going to give you a platform and an avenue to be able to feel comfortable having those discussions. And it's also going to make it relevant, because it is the right space to have those conversations. And so again, as a recap, educational, social, and spiritual. Those are the three categories that I encourage you to think about. It could be one organization that maybe does them all, right? Maybe you find the one organization that gives you everything. Maybe you find one of each. Maybe you find two in one. At the end of the day, I want you to be able to think about, do I have these different elements as part of my development of my career, right? Do I have this in school? And if you don't, again, do some evaluations of the organizations that your campus has available. Again, if it's virtual, it is what it is during these times. Hopefully, once we go back to on-campus activities, you're able to join those organizations. If you guys have any questions on things that I joined or things that I regret, maybe. If you guys like these videos, make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you guys drop a like. Make sure you guys subscribe. I want to make sure that I'm interacting with you all. I'm really enjoying doing these videos, and I want to continue to do so. And so I want to just make sure that I'm bringing you guys the value that you need and answering the questions that are important for you all. I'll see you guys in the next video, and y'all take care. Peace.